Hey. I don't know why I feel the need to give the weirdest introduction, but hello, hi. My name's Carrie and I write books. Welcome to the channel. So you've seen the thumbnail. Let's be articulate for like 2 seconds. Today's video is going to be a favorites video. I've only been on the interweb since July, but I've been writing books since I was like 12. We started this year with a lovely desk. And so my writing habits have really picked up since then, and there have been a few additions to my writing habits and things like that that I think have really enhanced the experience for me, and I just feel like I wanted to share. But I do want a little bit of a disclaimer, because I feel like especially around this time of year you get like a favorites video and it's almost like it feeds into that desire to like just consume. The goal of this video is not to influence anyone to purchase any items. In fact, the like things section of this video is gonna be quite small and direct to the point. Just some things that I've enjoyed. I don't want you to walk away from this video thinking that you need anything before you start, or that any of these things that I talk about are going to make your writing better. That's not the point. I'm only mentioning things that I have used every day when I sit down to write, except for one honorable mention, and they have been measurably helpful to me and my process, enhancing the desk life experience, okay? But I do want to be extremely clear. Before I had a desk, before I had any of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today, it was just me and a spiral notebook and a pencil. After that, after I graduated from childhood and bought a laptop, it was just me and a laptop. And I genuinely hope that that sinks in. If you're stuck in that perpetual learning loop like I was before I finally decided to launch my channel, where you're just absorbing information, you're learning, it's like, oh, I just want to gain just a little bit more knowledge about how to do this before I start. Just a little bit more. Okay, I'm not ready yet. Let me watch a video, let me do some more research, let me just get my setup. Just start. Don't let any of these things convince you that you need to like get those ducks in a row before you embark on whatever project it is. And maybe this is a good time to get that pep talk going into the new year, but experience is the best teacher. So if you're going through the author tube, if you're going through the writer vlogs, then you're like, ooh, I need a mechanical keyboard before I start my YouTube channel, or ooh, I really need to have a nice desk chair before I start writing. No, you don't. Stop procrastinating. Write your book. Anyway, so that's a message for people like me, and I hope that it's inspiring. So let's get into the video, because I am excited about what I have to talk to you about today. So like I said, these are things that I have used basically every day. First thing is, you've seen it in my videos, is a mug warmer. This thing was like, I don't know, $29 on Amazon. I might link it, I don't know. It is so amazing. I had always thought in college, I was like, man, I could really use a mug warmer. And the reason that this is so pivotal for me is because I always sit down with a warm beverage, to the point where if I don't have something to sip on, hot or otherwise, it's like a distraction. Without the mug warmer, I was rushing through my beverages. The ability to keep my drinks hot on my desk prolongs the amount of time that I'm sitting and not getting up and down to go refill. Desk warmer changed the game. It is desk warmer, mug warmer. I recommend doing a platform like a hot plate type situation, as opposed to one of those like heated mugs. I don't know if you've seen these or whatever, but I considered it. And the hot plate provides a little bit more versatility in your drinking vessel of choice, which is a big deal. I talked about that for way longer than I meant to, but it is by far my top favorite thing that I've used this year. Coming in as a close second is my whiteboard. I freaking love that thing. My process is so scrambled as I'm learning how to be someone who writes books and really trying to streamline how things work in my brain. Having a catch-all place to plot things out, like I've used it so many times this year. I plotted an entire short story on that thing, and I have cracked scenes, and I've had timelines on there. It's just so helpful. I love it so much. Realistically, a whiteboard doesn't do anything that a notebook can't do, but it's very convenient, and I like having that space designated for it. Right now it's holding notes for a launch into Act 2. A whiteboard of some kind is a godsend. Third thing I want to mention is a mechanical keyboard, and this is 100% optional. The mechanical keyboard that I'm using is like some sort of Keychron. I don't even know what it is. It was so funny because I was like, I don't need a mechanical keyboard. I have the keyboard on my laptop, it's fine. And he was like, okay, we'll borrow this. Let me know if you like it. And I just never gave it back. I love it. It's now officially my mechanical keyboard, actually. That just sort of happened. I mean, the sounds are really satisfying, but I do notice that my typing is better. Like ergonomically, the mechanical keyboard does less damage to my wrists and my carpal tunnel than typing on my laptop. And I think, here's my theory, the laptop keyboard is slightly smaller, just slightly, and so my wrists are a little bit more like this. I don't know what it is. It could just be placebo. I notice it helps with that, but also it lights up and it makes great sounds. Just, I don't know. I love a good keyboard, but it is 100% not necessary. Keyboard and a mouse. You're sitting down in front of a laptop for a long time, a lot. I mean, like, those things do kind of ease the situation. Last item is going to be sticky notes. And honestly, notebooks. Notebooks. The use of a notebook. You want to know how many notebooks I've used this year? Like, sticky notes, it's kind of a given. The way I use them, they are just everywhere. You've probably seen that. I've talked about them before. I don't feel the need to like totally go into all the details in this video. Just random thoughts, they go everywhere. They stick, it's great. Like, my whole life is a sticky note, but also just having a notebook is so valuable. Have you seen the Holy Grail writing notebook that I have? I am the kind of person that writes things down in order to make sense of them. It's why the whiteboard really comes in handy, because when I'm writing things out with my hand, the process of that happening in my brain really helps me sort through difficult issues. Legal pads, these promote the idea that I don't have to keep what goes on this. I'm gonna keep this notebook probably for a long time, right? This, whatever I write on this, I don't have to keep. Like, when this is done, I can throw it away. I can have less clutter, because there was a time in my life where I kept every little thing that I wrote down. You don't have to keep it. You can light it on fire. Then we have the Holy Grail notebook. This thing came from Michael's, and it is a massive thing. It's technically a sketchbook, but the pages look like this. They don't have any lines on them, so I can do whatever the heck I want in terms of formatting my page. So we can go from like diagrams, sticky notes, to pictures, and it's fabulous. And I set it up a little bit like a bullet journal, and this is what I recommend doing with your notebooks, especially if they're things that you're trying to keep. So like this Holy Grail writing notebook, this is not my world building Bible for my novel. This is a little bit more casual. This does not contain lore. This contains thought maps, writer's block exercises, note if I'm watching a tutorial, if listening to Brandon Sanderson talk, like these are where all the notes go. And I recommend highly making an index in your notebooks that you plan on keeping. And it is just as simple as, and like, this is not aesthetic or cute. It is just as simple as on this page, and then you number your pages. On this page, I will find end of 2023 TBR. Holy God. Did I read all these? Huh, I read a good bit of them. Wow, making lists really works for me. Let's see, location notes, creating a map, page 27. And it's great. It's the lore behind the lore before the lore was written in blood. Okay, great. I recommend notebooks. I really do. They are super helpful. And I feel like in a digital age where everything's in Scrivener, everything's in Google Docs, Word, whatever, having something physical can really be nice. Write things out with a pencil to help you think things through, because your brain is intelligent and it can solve problems. So just gotta give it a nudge sometimes. I forgot my honorable mention. Hold on, let me grab it. Honorable mention of the things. I have not used it every day, which is why it does not quite make the list, but it certainly does create some fun. Okay, so this is a sunset light, and it was pretty cheap off Amazon, and basically it casts different color lights. And the way I use it for my writing is if I am in the middle of space, the light is like blue. If I am in the underground, most of the time the light is green. If I am on Signal Mountain in the dormitories, the light is orange. Do you see where I'm going with this? It helps set a mood and an atmosphere for me as the writer. If I am trying to then translate that mood and atmosphere into my writing, it creates an immersive experience. And I'm very much in my head 100% of the time. My imagination is very strong. And so if I give it a nudge, it's like watching a movie in 3D. I don't know, it's fun. It is completely non-essential, but it is so much fun. And when I have the light the right color and I'm in the right headspace and the music is just right and the words are flowing, it's just like I'm there. And it takes me a minute to kind of snap back to reality, which is incredible. I love that my brain is so visual that what's happening in my imagination feels like I'm actually going through it. Things feel real in my mind, and you know, whatever I can do to like kickstart that flow state, that light sometimes comes in handy. So anyway, that's my honorable mention. Okay. The next section of this video, I'm going to talk about some books that have been really great. And I wanted to pick up some specifically that are inspirational, that have applied to writing for me, because I've read a lot of books. This year, I've read significantly fewer books, but there have been several that are inspirational that I've used for voice training. I have learned things from that I want to transfer into my own writing practice. So I want to mention those books really quick and we'll go from there. First things first, I want to mention the Winter Sea trilogy. This thing was so much fun. I loved every bit of this. It was just a diggity dang good time. I did not tab this one, but the tabs, like just things that I loved. I had such a good time with these. But what really stuck with me in terms of writing was the use of epigraphs. Now, epigraphs, if you don't know, are the little excerpts at the beginning of chapters. So for example, this is the end of like chapter 3, and then we have an epigraph here, which is a little bit long for my taste, but it has a purpose, so I don't care. And it's to give some background, and then there's like other kinds of epigraphs. So like that one was like character, like flashback type situation. This is an actual like excerpt from the word book of the Aedians. So we're getting some world building. And then what I really liked was in Red Tempest, this happened all the time, where the epigraph was about a sea creature or a monster from the world before we see it. So it was like a teaser. So like I would know, okay, it's probably going to be present in the chapter if I've read it in the epigraph. And I am really inspired by that. Playing around with whether or not I would like to use epigraphs in my own novel, if I feel like they would be utilized as well and as consistently as these books did. The second book I want to talk about book series is Jade City. I've only used this one for voice training, but it's really inspired me a lot. Again, a dang good time to read, in my opinion. There were a lot of similarities between this book and what I'm writing, and so that was really cool to kind of see how Fondely went about building out her world, which is extremely expansive and well thought out. And the political intrigue, like just the politics. I don't know how to write that like that, but like I needed to take notes. Fight scenes, man, that is clear. You feel like you're in it. And I have been studying the way she does that to hopefully learn how to apply those just good writer moves on my own novel. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about Sun Eater next. Okay, these are the only 3 that I have read in the series so far. They have blown my mind. It's such a slow burn, man. Honestly, Demon in White was probably my favorite of the 3. But at the same time, there's so much that happens. And I'm like, do I need to be that long-winded? No. Rakio, what have I learned? Rakio is so efficient at the same time. Like the series is girthy, but I really do think that there is a lot of efficiency that is applied in dialogue, in setting, in those scenes where there's not a ton of action, where they're just talking. Like there's so much happening. Like every scene does a lot of heavy lifting, and that is extremely inspirational to me. But also, I don't know how many words these books are, but like they're thick. It gives me hope that if I overwrite my book a little bit, it's not the end of the world. I love Empire of Silence. I think also something that's super inspirational to me is that Rockio takes the time to really build out the characters and show you what they go through. I'm watching every little thing, and I'm watching this character grow and change, and it is so fascinating. This is a good series. Also, it has really shaped the way I think about time dilation. Do I ignore it because I don't understand? I mean, just some, like realistically, if you're gonna expand the universe, the implications of that are massive. And if you want your story to feel real and lived in, like a continuation of this timeline, you really do kind of have to pay attention to some of those things. So thank you. Shout out to my writing Discord for answering stupid space questions that I refuse to ChatGPT. And then of course, the best thing, I'm gonna hold up the original trilogy because I don't feel like holding up all 6 books, but and it's gotta be emotional impact. It's gotta be themes. I mean, everything about these books are just incredible. And if you have not picked them up, seriously, you need to. You really do. What have I learned? What have I learned? So much. So much. The fact that the sci-fi in this is a little bit soft, it almost dips in, like it is reminiscent of Star Wars, where it's like, it is sci-fi, but it leans fantasy in a few ways. Red Rising does that a little bit too. And it just helps me understand a little bit more about the fluctuation in my genre of like where you can sit on the spectrum of sci-fi. Because I'm not a brainiac, okay? If Rockio taught me anything, if Andy Weir taught me anything, is like there is hard sci-fi and then there's Red Rising, which I feel like sits on the other end of the spectrum. I can float and do whatever I want. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about books now. Oh wait, no, I want to have period on the top. Now we're ready to talk about favorite creators and media. And this is going to segue into my writing tips and advice for this year that has grown me and inspired me, and I'm very excited to talk about that, and that will be probably the longest section of this video. My favorite YouTubers, creators, podcasters. I want to talk about Shani first. Have you ever heard of this guy? Maybe you have, but like if you haven't, you need to. Not only is this guy just, I don't know, I feel like he has a warm soul. That translates. His vibes are good. But he is a YouTuber. He's been a YouTuber for a minute, but I've been watching his videos for, I want to say over 2 years now. I don't know. The way that he goes through and analyzes media. He doesn't do novels so much. It's mostly TV shows, movies, sometimes video games. But the way he goes through and analyzes how story works is fascinating to me and has been really influential in figuring out how I analyze my own writing for the purpose of making it better, more impactful, all that good stuff. Fantastic human, extremely smart. The advice that he has given that has been the most impactful to me personally is his video where he talks about his whole analysis process, and I will link this in the description. I'll let him explain it to you. You go watch his video. But his advice is ask not what, but why. And he's using that in terms of analysis. How do we break down this story and figure out its nuts and bolts? What makes this character tick? What makes this world work? Ask not what, but why. That kind of questioning has really helped me figure out where my plot holes are. If something feels like it's falling flat, well, why? Breaking down my scenes, my characters, my plot beats into those minute little details and asking not what is it, but why? What is Gamora? Why is Gamora? That's Shani. Check out his channel. It's incredible. You'll have a great time. Okay, I have 2 AuthorTube creators that I've started watching relatively recently. I think it's been less than a year. But coming across their videos and their channels was like probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because they're just lovely humans. I'm like talking about these people as if they're like, I've met them before. I have never met these people. It's so weird, but from what I can see on the internet, they appear to be lovely people. So I've got Brielle Wrights and Alyssa in the books, and they are some author tubers that every once in a while they'll get in front of a camera and they'll ramble about something, and it snaps me out of it, man. Both of them made some sort of pep talk and put it out on the internet, and I watched it and was like, okay, I guess I gotta start a YouTube channel now. They're inspirational. It's really nice to kind of know of people who are in similar places creatively, and I can identify with that, and then kind of I can learn from their mistakes, I can learn from their trials and tribulations, I can learn from their successes, and really, I've been learning from them a ton. I've mentioned chapter locking that I heard of from Brielle, and it's been really helpful. That's just been something in the past couple weeks. Alyssa is extremely diligent. That girl works her tail off, and that is extremely inspirational to me. So also they're just so fun. Anyway, they're fun to watch. They've got great channels. I'll link them down below. If you are consuming AuthorTube content, these are two creators that just, I think, really hit the ball out of the park when it comes to AuthorTube. I got podcasters. I'm gonna say that they're podcasters because that's what I predominantly watch from them, but I discovered these two women on Instagram, believe it or not. They are just hats off. I feel like I've been watching them for a long time now, but they haven't been around all that long. They've been around for maybe 2 or 3 years, but like, they're so great. Anyway, and that's Chris and Mads. They're book content creators, but they are extremely inspirational. And I'm gonna tell you kind of specifically why. I could cry, I love these women. They're so fun. Both of them have really unique stories. They're moms. They've worked really hard in their lives. Like they did a podcast episode where they basically went through their life story, and that is one of my favorite episodes, honestly. They just have so many good things to say. So anyway, but what's specifically been very inspirational for me about these women is in the middle of like a really consumerist attitude on the internet around books and reading, they have over the past year really made a call back to being very intentional, purposeful, and really sitting with what you read. And so, I mean, I've read fewer books this year because of that, but I don't think that I've had a lesser experience reading as a result. I think it's only enhanced my attitude about reading. And what they've said is good books are good books forever. They're good books all the time, and you don't have to rush through your TBR in order to access those great books. They're always going to be there. Just read to learn, read to connect, read to converse with other people. Don't just read to say that you've done it. That kind of intentional attitude of like in practical ways, leveling up lifestyle and intentionality has just been really revolutionary. Very nice. In a very fast-paced internet landscape, they've started doing long form content. Like it's just, I watch their videos and listen to them talk, and I feel like you can kind of take a deep breath. It's a slow down kind of experience, and that is really nice. Those ladies are wonderful. Also podcasters, to ramble. They're some book people, and I just love how fiercely opinionated those boys are. They're hilarious. I love it. They haven't necessarily been inspirational, but like their point of views, their perspectives on things is like, I don't know, it gets me thinking. And I'm like, wait, I've always thought this way. This guy's saying this and I've never thought about that before. That's interesting. I enjoy their channel a lot, and they're really funny. They're really funny people. Those are two podcasters that I do recommend if you enjoy books, if you enjoy reading, if you want to forge a more analytical mind. All right, this recording is almost 45 minutes long. We're gonna go into some writing tips and advice. The top piece of advice is to just start, to be brave, and to just start. I'm talking about writing, but this applied to me when it came to starting my YouTube channel. I'm really glad I did it. It's just been so much fun, and I really love being able to video catalog and sort of share my journey. It's a lot of fun, but just do the thing. You can kick the can down the road until you're dead. Just start. Start whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it's training for a marathon, saving money, whatever it is. Start that thing, because you don't have more time because you waited. That's my top top tier advice, most relevant advice. And then something else that just changed the game for me this year was to share that I'm writing a book with other human beings. It sounds so stupid, honestly, but like, it's simple. It really did change the game. And I do want to mention the benefits of this is that having other people to bounce ideas off of, not feeling so isolated, and kind of building community around a thing that you like that is most of the time a very isolating endeavor. It doesn't have to be, and I can go either way. I can do writing sprints with people, which I could never do before. I can write by myself. I can decide not to pick up the camera. I can decide to just kind of lock in like I've always done my whole life. I can also choose to make it a community event. I can decide to film it. I can decide to share it with other people and, you know, hop on Discord, be like, hey, is anyone writing right now? Want to do a sprint? I don't know. It just having other people, having access to other people and what they might have to say, their perspectives, their ideas. You know, when I'm hitting a wall in my manuscript and I can pose that idea to a group of people that get it and work through some of those issues. Having a second eye on your manuscript, if you're trying to level it up, is essential because you are trying to see the forest through the trees as the creator, as the author, and just sometimes it's not gonna cut it. You're gonna need more than just your own two eyeballs. And you're capable, but like, you're making it harder on yourself. You know, talk to an editor, get on Fiverr, ask for a beta reader. But like, I have people that I can send over an excerpt of my writing pretty casually and get some feedback. And that is priceless. So share what you do. On the other side of that, I have heard this bit of advice, which is like, to succeed in silence. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the actual saying. To succeed in silence is like, don't tell people about all the stuff that you're doing. I think that advice is a little bit more related to, if I'm just gonna have to spitball a little bit here, but that advice is a little bit more related to being performative, telling everyone that I'm going to the gym, going to the gym, going to the gym, or telling everyone, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever it is, and doing it for brownie points, I guess. Doing it because you want people to know that you are working really hard and you're really healthy and you're trying to almost like bump up your own self-esteem through the perception of others. I think that's what the advice is cautioning against. But I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's like, don't tell people until you're done. Like, succeed in silence, yet let your hard work speak for itself, essentially. And that has always been the way I do things, is I'm not going to just I'm not gonna like just tell people about everything. I'm just going to do the thing and my hard work will speak for itself. And I think most of the time that is true and healthy. And I think in a world where we want to post everything that we're doing on social media, it's good to keep in the back of your mind. I think the difference between that advice and share with people is, I think, what has made the difference for me, which is progress after accountability and being perceived. The fact that there are people asking me how goes the writing, that there's a weekly video that I put up about my writing, helps get my butt in the seat a whole lot more than when I was just the only person holding me accountable for this is me. I think it's good. I think being self-disciplined is good, and you need that. And it doesn't matter how many videos or how many people I talk to, if I don't have any form of self-discipline, it's never going to amount to anything, really. Like, I won't get anything done anyway. So I guess my point with this is balance. Balance is key. While you're sharing something that's important to you, while you're getting that walking buddy, while you're getting that gym partner, while you're getting that writing friend, there is a big portion of this that still rests on your shoulders. And while those people will help make you accountable, the buck still stops with you. So you make the choice whether or not you sit down at the end of the day. You make the choice whether or not you do what it is that whether or not you pursue your goal, even when it's not a good time or the easiest time to do so. I think that it's okay to not tell everyone everything that you're trying to do with your life, to not overshare all your goals. You don't have to do that, but also there are benefits too, and there are downsides. So like, hold them both at the same time. Both can be true, but it's up to you. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense. I would love to be a little bit more articulate and concise. We're working on it. Some simple advice. I believe Joe Abercrombie said this on a panel. I watch writers talk all the time, okay? It's a toxic trait, I think. But he said, write it once, then write it again. And that's what I've been living by. It really helps take that pressure off that first draft, man. I'm gonna write it once, and then I'm gonna write it again. Connected to that is Brandon Sanderson saying, you just gotta write that first book, man. You're gonna write many, and you're gonna need to write many. You just gotta write that first one. Whether you publish it or it sits in a drawer, you put it on the shelf forever. Either way, you've gotta write that first book. And sometimes it's just that process, like having reached that milestone. On the other side of that is so much more. You just gotta get over that hump. Just write that first book. You don't know what's coming next, but what's coming next definitely won't happen if you don't finish that first book. So there you go. That's my spin on his advice, something he said. I don't remember who said this. No idea. But essentially, this is hard. Writing a book is hard. Appreciate your progress. Don't compare yourself to other people if it's just to measure progress. I think comparing yourself to other creators who are in similar places as you can be helpful when it comes to learning how to refine your process and learning how to be efficient, learning how to think things through, whatever it may be. But if you're comparing yourself to other people in order to measure progress, you're gonna end up feeling really let down because everyone's progress is different and everyone is in different places, and you can't compare those two things. What you can do is say, well, this person writes in the evening and I write in the morning. Maybe I should try writing in the evening. Let me try it, see if it works better. Nope, didn't work better. I'm a morning writer. Comparison in that way can help learn and refine and grow you. But if you're being like, man, this person's already written like 4 drafts this year and I'm still in the middle of draft 1, man, what's wrong with me? That's not helpful. That's not helpful. That's not gonna do you any good. And maybe you might sit there and ask questions like, okay, why is it making, not what, but why? Okay, why is it taking me so long to get through a first draft? When you come up with those answers, you're probably going to be a little bit more encouraged because now you have a path forward. So asking questions, analyzing yourself, that can be helpful. When you're comparing progress, most of the time, it just steals your joy, takes the wind right out of your sails. So don't be doing that. And I think that concludes this video. I've been talking for an hour. I could probably really streamline how much I talk if I could just get to the dang point. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that ultimately this video was inspiring. I was trying to think through a way to kind of culminate my year, and I will be going through and doing like a goals recap, something like that. But what I just talked about doesn't really match up with goals anyway. So I feel like this was a fun way to kind of wrap up the journey this year. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this was a fun watch. What were some of your favorite things this year? Whether that was advice or physical items or books, let me know and put it down in the comment section, please. Comment your favorite thing this year. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye everyone.